hi, Daddy. No, I'm just kidding. There's an influencer on TikTok who goes by the name of Daddy, D-A-A-D-I. He has about 225,000 followers on TikTok, and his mission with his content is to de-influence cyberspace. And I just saw a video of his on TikTok. It hit my FYP, where he's critiquing influencers in the wild, couples in the wild, people in the wild who are making content. And Daddy asks, is this a world you want to live in, where when you're filming, you're like this, and then when the recording ends, you go like this? Family pictures like this after the pictures are done being taken. What I would generalize that term as, it would be the contributor to FOMO. So who contributes to FOMO? I actually just researched this with AI, and who contributes it? It would be those who curate content. Now, what's funny to me is not a lot of people consider themselves content creators, but if you're paying a photographer or videographer and you're putting a display on social media, you have just now curated content. If you put your children in matching costumes, matching outfits, and put up a nice display for a little family photo shoot, you're curating content. And I'm reacting to Daddy's content because this is something I emphasize on a, if not daily basis, weekly basis. I will never contribute to FOMO. If I'm angry, I'm angry. The camera's not going off. If I'm sad, I'm sad. The camera's not going off. I'm not going to curate a false sense of happiness to appease my audience and attract people to this unrealistic identity of being, of always constantly being happy. So we're going to read a little bit more. Who contributes to FOMO? Well, first, what is FOMO? It's the fear of missing out. FOMO. It's an acronym. Driven by social media's portrayal of curated, idealized versions of other people's lives. So if you're on the receiving end of their content and you're consuming it, you, the consumer, are going to have a side effect, that of which being is FOMO. So you've got people curating content. Oh, how many times do we have to take this picture? Mom, I don't want to stand there anymore. How many times do I have to... Just smile! Okay. And then the consumer who... Well, let's just keep going. Let's pretend this is a staged hypothetical scenario. Just 3 more pictures, honey. Leave me alone for the rest of the day. Okay, and so then the family pictures are taken care of. They're uploaded to social media. And you, on the receiving end, are the consumer. You're giving your attention, which is the product, to these content creators or families. Because you have to remember, FOMO is not a byproduct. It's a... See, like, I'm confused. There's an awkward pause. I'm not going to crop that out, right? I'm not going to portray myself as a know-it-all. The feeling of FOMO is caused by this curation of content that everything around them is perfect, and you're missing out because you're not perfect 24/7. So let's just keep reading. Fear of missing out, FOMO, is driven by social media's portrayal of curated, idealized versions of other people's lives. So you're seeing a version of their life, a curation of their life, leading to your own personal feelings of inadequacy or anxiety about your own experiences. Well, shoot. I don't have a family to take pictures with. My family would never do that, and they haven't done that for me. Oh, I must not be a good enough mom because I can't afford to take my kids on these vacations every year. Am I inadequate? It seems like everyone's going on vacation except for me. So what happens is there's simulation A. So you're looking at, you are simulation A. You are A. Let's pretend this is a hypothetical experiment and you're simulation A. You're looking at family number 1 and you're seeing these family pictures at the beach, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you even know these people. Maybe these are people you haven't seen in 15 years, like family members. Let's do this. Let's use high school peers who you graduated with 20 years ago. Let's do that. So you're simulation A, and you're looking at classmate number 1 and where they're at in life today, and you see family pictures, and you're like, oh, wow. And you say, I want to see what else they're doing and see if there's anything bad happening in their life, right? It's not an ugly feeling, and it's not uncommon to look for cracks and flaws in people's social media platforms these days, because the content they're curating, producing, coming up with is all perfect. And so you want to see, like, hello, is there something wrong with me? My gosh, family dinner looked amazing last night. Scrolling. Wow, this couple loves each other. They went on a date 2 nights ago. Oh, wow. They went on a trip to the Bahamas. Oh, my gosh. And they just had an anniversary party. Their family threw them a surprise party. It's making you feel like, oh, so you're going to be like, well, this is too much for me. I feel like I'm not as successful as them. So I'm going to look at simulation, or your simulation A. So I'm going to look at classmate number 2. And then again, you see the same thing. Oh, beach pictures. So happy they're doing good with their career. They got a new milestone. They're so happy all the time. This person likes jogging every day with their partner. And you just start to think about how you must be inadequate because you aren't feeling all of this. But then if you ever take a moment to step back and look at your own social media platform, you're doing the same thing and you're not even conscious of it. You're only posting maybe once a month, and it's going to be a highlight of your month. So Daddy on TikTok said he's sick of being called a bully for calling people out like this. And it's not just influencers. His introduction to this video, his hook was a clip of James Charles at Disney sipping on a coffee like this with a camera recording. Everyone, I'm so happy to be at Orlando's Disney World. Get ready. I'm gonna have so much fun for you. So many more videos to come. Okay, so what happened was he took a sip of his coffee, clicked it off, and finished drinking his coffee, and he went, just made it like a face that he wouldn't make on camera. And it wasn't an angry face. I'm sure he was having fun. And then Daddy goes into describing that it's not just influencers like James Charles. It's like this couple in Greece who had a selfie stick or a tripod, and they couldn't get their engagement pictures in time because the self-timer was taking too long, or maybe the shutter didn't work and they had to individually take like one picture at a time. So my point here is what Daddy is talking about, if you're watching him on social media, is the fear of missing out. So let's take simulation B. Okay, simulation B is someone who's very depressed, who is isolated. They might be grieving the loss of their wife. Maybe they're a widower, and you know, they get clinically depressed. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy to only placate your life as perfect 24/7, because psychologically it's damaging. It's damaging. I don't care what anyone says. It's psychologically damaging for us to only consume idealized versions of other people's lives. It leads to your own feelings of inadequacy and anxiety about your own experiences that you might start to think aren't good enough. Individuals, especially young adults who are active on social media, are more susceptible to experiencing FOMO due to constant exposure to others' highlight reels, posts, pictures, shorts. Other contributing factors include a strong need for social connection, social comparison, and a lack of self-esteem. So, here's a breakdown. Social media has curated content showcasing a view of reality, focusing on positive experiences, focusing on achievements, creating a distorted perception that others are living more exciting, fulfilling lives, which leads to FOMO. This is still number 1, talking about social media. Constant connection. The 24/7 availability of social media makes individuals feel they're missing on social interactions and opportunities if they're not constantly online. Social comparison. Users you and I, will frequently compare themselves to others on social media, which can negatively impact self-esteem and exacerbate FOMO. And then next, addictive potential. The cycle of checking social media for updates and validation can become an addiction, further fueling FOMO. So now there's number 2, your individual differences. There's a need for belonging. Individuals with a strong need to belong and connect with others may be more prone to FOMO because they fear being excluded and left out. And it's very damaging to experience FOMO and contribute to it when you're a person who starts to feel left out, because now you have friend groups, family groups who have, like, say that as someone who is like this described, starting to feel left out, and they have these needs to belong and connect with others. They're needy, maybe they're extroverts, and their family is posting a family dinner or a birthday party, and this person starts to wonder and question, why wasn't I invited? Why wasn't I invited? I would have loved to be there. I can't believe they didn't invite me. Or a graduation party. What? Why didn't they invite me? Is there something wrong with me? Did they think I couldn't afford a gift? Or did they think that they didn't want to introduce their friends to me? Like, stuff like that, okay? Next, low self-esteem. And so people with low self-esteem will seek validation and approval through social media. It makes them more vulnerable and feel inadequate when they are exposed to idealized portrayals of others. Anxiety and neuroticism. Individuals with higher levels of anxiety and neuroticism may be more sensitive to the negative emotions associated with FOMO. Finally, there's other contributing factors such as loneliness, which amplifies the desire to connect with others online and increase the fear of missing out on other social interactions. Rumination. Individuals who ruminate on negative experiences or social situations are prone to FOMO. And then perfectionism. The desire to have a perfect life and constantly seek validation can contribute to FOMO. So, is you're calling daddy a bully? He's not bullying. He's showcasing that people choose an idealistic version of themselves when they're posting or curating content, that of which subsequently is damaging to people, causing low self-esteem, or they may already have it, and it's just not a good reality to live in. Like, is this the reality you want? So when he says, is this the reality you want to live in, he's not saying a reality where we're always taking selfies, always on our phones. What he's saying is a reality where you can't be yourself. A reality where you can't be human. A reality where you have to be perfect. A reality where you have to look perfect. A reality where you have the ability to curate an idealized version of your own reality. How do I explain this? Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I'm getting over being sick, coughing a lot, running my nose a lot. And that's why you're seeing the clips cut like that. An idealistic version of yourself, only these perfect moments that you create, right? It's unnatural, it's wrong, which is why I don't mind being a hot mess on social media, because again, I say this on a daily, if not weekly basis, if not daily basis. I will never be a contributor to FOMO, ever. I'll be messy. I'll be emotional. I will be ugly. I will be unattractive. I will be vegan forever. I'll always be vegan. I have good manners because I'm vegan. I'll be funny. I'll not be funny. I'll be boring sometimes. You know what I mean? So, and that's because I want you guys to know that you can stand out. You can be welcomed. You can be supported if you're just being yourself. You don't have to be like the people, like the idealistic version the people put out there, because again, it's not real. It's curated that just can't be recreated. And maybe that's why photography and videography is such a blessing, because you can catch those perfect moments. And laughter. Sometimes I used to wonder why I can't laugh naturally and take a picture. Sometimes I wish I could see how I look when I laugh, because we never know what we look like unless we look at a camera or a filter, or not a filter, a camera or a mirror, and you can go like this in the mirror, but you'll never know what you look like when you're laughing because it's not caught on camera. And when I was a kid, I used to wonder how I looked like when I was laughing, when I was actually happy, because when I was told, this went through my mind when I was being told to smile for a picture. And yeah, so shout out to the creator on TikTok, Daddy. And I get what you're saying. Your message is delivered, and I would just hope that you as well can show your vulnerable moments too, your imperfect moments too, your messy moments too.